Beekeepers, the bee industry is trying to tell you you should requeen a hive every year. That's what the commercial beekeepers do, but they make money from pollinating and from making honey, and they put those old queens in with packages. But as a backyard beekeeper, hobbyist, whatever, or sideliner, or somebody like me that's sustainable and doesn't buy honeybees or queens from anybody, I'd like to see how long a queen lasts. Number 9 here is a 2020 queen. It's now May 2023. I like to think 25% of my queens make it to their 4th summer, which would be 3 years old, but it's actually closer to 10%. It's May 7th. It's not too terribly warm yet. Requeening a hive every year and killing that queen. Commercial beekeepers don't do it. They put it in with packages. But as a backyard beekeeper, to kill a queen is very foolish. This is my philosophy. The first year, I make a new colony, new queen. The first year they build up. The second summer they make honey for me. The third summer I use them for breeding, and if they make it into the 4th summer, again for breeding. So this queen here, she's really old. She did really well this winter. The toxic chemicals in our environment kill a lot of my honeybees, and those toxic chemicals give a lot of people cancer, but not everybody gets cancer, just a small percentage. If everybody got cancer, I'm sure that everybody would speak up and something be done about it. But enough people survive that nothing's done about it. And then the rich people make money treating those people that get cancer for their cancer. So this queen here, she's here somewhere. This colony has not gotten a whole lot larger. They're doing all right. I count how many frames of brood and eggs I have. There's the old girl right there. See her wings? She's all wore out. She could not fly anywhere. I don't have issues with swarms, with my bees swarming. I see a lot of people that have videos on YouTube catching swarms. They get a lot of views. I don't really think that's a big deal. Learning how to keep honeybees alive is a bigger deal than catching swarms or having your bees swarm. Majority of these people that are catching swarms are catching their own swarms, okay? Be honest about it, all right? They're probably your bees. You didn't know how to control them. I make sure that my colonies have enough room to grow, that they don't have any issues with wanting to swarm. This is a very old queen. She's almost 4 years old. I could look at my notes and figure out exactly when the summer she'd reach her, or 3 years old, her 4th summer. But look at her. She's still doing really well. See the eggs? So basically what I would do, I would wait for it to warm up a little bit. And if she's still doing well, I'd wait till like midsummer when I'm just about done doing splits, and I'm sorry to say, I would probably kill her, and I would break this down into however many mating nukes I could get, and then I would take other frames of nurse bees and eggs from other colonies, and I would add to it because there's not a lot of bees in here. But she's a good quality queen. I want her genetics, and if I do 50% on my mating nukes, I want to do more than 2 to guarantee that I would actually have some of her genetics left. So it's very foolish to kill a queen. If you're killing queens, you're an idiot. You're a moron. You're brainwashed by the bee industry. I'm sustainable. I don't buy honeybees. I don't buy queens. I breed my own new colonies, and they do really well in this toxic environment in mid-Michigan while these crop farmers here. I don't get all of them through winter. that I get enough of them through winter to get larger the following year, depending on the weather. Last year was really bad. So again, don't kill your queens. Use them for breeding. Breed your own queens. Don't buy queens. The queens you buy are not going to be as good quality as the queens you breed at home. And right now, I'm the only beekeeper in my area, so I want a large genetic pool of drones because my virgin queens will mate with my colonies because there are no other large beekeepers in my area. There may be a few hives here and there that I don't know about, but I am the largest beekeeper in my area right now until mid-June. Like I said, it's May 7th, so another 5 weeks. The commercial beekeepers come back and I'll continue breeding in mid-June so I can get some of their genetics to add to my gene pool so that my bees never get inbred. Only an idiot, moron beekeeper, a stupid frickin' moron, would want to graft from his best queens and keep doing that year after year. Your bees are going to get inbred, then end up being poor quality. Bee Source says that hybrids are better than line breds, and line breds are basically inbred because they keep breeding to get the same quality. Like, say, for instance, Russian honeybees, they kept weeding out the ones that weren't hygienic and weren't doing very good with varroa mites, and they kept breeding with the same bees, so they got inbred. So that explains why the poor quality of Russian bees in the United States. Maybe they're not poor quality in Russia because they're not doing that. But in the United States, they keep weeding out certain ones that aren't doing very well. And they, like, basically, if you were to take every blonde-haired, blue-eyed person and keep breeding with them and killing everybody else, eventually you guys would be all inbred, all right? It's the same thing with the honeybees. That's what they're doing to honeybees. Line bred is basically inbred. A hybrid is good because they're getting a different genetic line into that genome, and they're better quality. And then Bee Source claims that anything after a hybrid is no good, and I completely disagree with that. My 10 years of experience of breeding my own queens, my queens are better than any queens in the United States. They can go up one-on-one with anybody's queens and win, all right? So again, number 9, 2020 queen. Okay, she's still doing well. May 7th, I'm gonna wait until it warms up. I'll check them every week, and if they have queen cells and she's dead, then I'll split it and make mating nukes. But I'm gonna wait until it warms up because we can still have temperatures in the upper 30s overnight. And if I did a bunch of mating nukes, I got some mating nukes down here that I did 3 days ago that I know are gonna need bees. They're not enough bees stayed with the mating nukes. I will show you. And I was anticipating that. You make a mating nuke, and sometimes some of those bees are workers, and they go back to the original location over there, like this right here. That is not enough bees to sustain a mating nuke. Look at that. So I'm going to have to add bees to this before it gets cold, and maybe too late already. I don't know. We had temperatures in the 50s last night, but when you make a mating nuke, you go back and check it later in the end of the day, see how many bees stayed with that mating nuke. If you didn't get enough bees to stay with that mating nuke, add a frame of nurse bees from any colony that you have. This doesn't have a queen in it. It's a mating nuke, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to kill a queen because there's no queen in there, okay? So that's basically, I got to go back through and do that tonight. I don't know what more to say. I don't do all my colonies at the same time. I did 20% or so the last 3 or 4 days. I leave some. If I need to take a frame of brood, I could take a frame of brood off that. Look at that. You don't take a frame of brood off when you just split because it's already small now. So I'm going to be taking frames of brood off and helping assist these colonies here that need help. Some of the mating nukes don't have enough bees in them, and the colonies I've been bringing in during the winter, those mediums I brought in during the winter, I gave them their bottom deep. I'm going to be checking them to see how they're doing. And then I've got colonies that were left out here that haven't done anything. I'm going through and I'm checking those. So I go through, and the larger hives have enough bees, and I don't need to worry about them. I check them. If they have a lot of bees, I don't even bother checking for a queen. But if you get small colonies and they're not growing, you need to check them. When you have 100 colonies or so, you don't have time to be checking every one of them. You just go by the number of bees. If you don't have a lot of bees in the hive and you don't add any more hive bodies to it, you need to go back through and check it. Number 9 is slow because it's a 2020 queen. She's old. Okay, thank you.